A village appears on old maps of a remote region in Central Asia. It was documented, recorded, even visited, and then, at some point in the 20th century, it stopped appearing. Not as a dramatic disaster, not as a known evacuation, but as if it was quietly erased from reality itself. Modern satellite maps show nothing. No ruins, no foundations, no trace of settlement. Yet older records insist it existed. So the question remains, how does an entire village disappear without leaving anything behind? Welcome to Night Archives. The earliest references to the village appear in colonial-era mapping surveys and travel logs. Explorers described a small settlement located near a river crossing. It was not large, but it was stable. Houses were recorded. Trade activity was noted. Local populations interacted with it. For decades, it appeared consistently on regional maps. But later revisions tell a different story. At some point, cartographers began removing it, not replacing it, not renaming it, simply deleting it from official maps. No explanation was attached. What makes the case unusual is not just the disappearance. It is the disagreement between sources. Some historical documents continue to reference the village long after it was removed from maps. Travel accounts mention passing through it. Military records allegedly refer to supply routes connected to it. But modern geographic surveys show nothing at all in the area. No ruins, no structural remains, no settlement pattern. Even the land itself appears undisturbed, as if nothing was ever built there in the first place. Attempts to locate the village in modern times have produced no confirmed evidence. Expeditions to the supposed coordinates report only empty terrain. Rivers, hills, and plains that match no signs of human construction. Some researchers suggest mapping errors may have been repeated across historical documents. Others argue the records describe a real settlement that was later abandoned and fully reclaimed by nature. But even in cases of abandonment, traces normally remain. Stone foundations, roads, agricultural patterns. Here, there is nothing. Despite the lack of physical evidence, the village continues to appear in scattered references, old journals, fragmented maps, reprinted atlases with conflicting data. And if you enjoy dark historical mysteries and places that seem to vanish from history itself, subscribe to Night Archives for more stories like this. Because sometimes the most disturbing mysteries are not what we find, but what we can no longer find. Theories about the vanished village fall into three main categories. The first is cartographic error, repeated copying mistakes across historical maps. The second is environmental change, suggesting the village was erased by natural forces over time. The third is far more controversial, that the settlement may have existed in a region later misidentified, relocated, or politically reclassified in ways that erased its historical identity. None of these explanations fully resolve the contradictions in the record, and no definitive conclusion has ever been reached. Today, the location where the village is believed to have existed shows no sign of human settlement, no ruins, no artifacts, no clear historical continuity, just empty land that matches none of the descriptions written in older documents. Whether the village was erased by error, nature, or something else entirely remains unknown. And perhaps the most unsettling idea is this: history does not always preserve what was real. Sometimes it only preserves what survived long enough to be remembered, and everything else simply disappears.